Yo, what's going on, man? Today is February the 2nd, 2024. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show where I'm live on Twitter, also live on YouTube as always. Today is Friday. Hopefully, it is fruitful Fridays. Hopefully, we are able to multiply our bankrolls today. Just real quick on the recap of yesterday, 1-1 on official plays that I gave out. I was on Utah minus the 3.5. They blew it. No defense. None of the trends. It doesn't really matter. Maxey goes crazy, and they get the upset win to finish out that road trip. And then I also gave out the Cavs early. The -5 line did cash yesterday. The -8 line did not cash, and I said that I wouldn't play the -8 with the Cavs on the second leg of that back-to-back. So 1-1, you lose a little bit of juice. I've been you're teetering on having a really good day. It's got to be coming here soon. Last couple of days have not been great, and then we go 1-1 yesterday. So we don't really lose anything, but we also don't gain any. So trying to be a little bit better today. We got a big slate, but as I said the last couple of days, and I'll continue to say this, man, with the NBA, getting closer to All-Star break coming up, it's going to be a lot of uncertainties for sure. So tread lightly is what I recommend, and definitely something that I'm doing. We got a lot of games, so we're going to get right into them. Let's go through the comments really quick. Shout out to Lino, I think is how you pronounce that. Ramundez for becoming a member. I appreciate you for joining. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully I can give some plays out that cash. What's up to my guy Sam? It's been a while. Good to see you in here, Sam. The live stone. He asking what people like today. What's up, Prolific? Markel says, are the dogs still barking today? So I did tweet out earlier that the dogs were, I think, 19-12 against the spread so far this week, like 63%. If you're double-digit dogs have been cashing, they're 8-2 this week on the spread, and they've won 5 games outright. We see the Lakers, absolutely go into Boston. Who needs AD? Who needs LeBron? I tweeted out yesterday. Of course, I was just kidding, but they go in and win this double-digit. These dogs, these favorites are not trying to win by margin, man, unless you're the Clippers and you want to go into DC and get a win, because I did bet a double-digit dog the other day and got that one wrong on a day that 2 other double-digit dogs did cash. So luck just don't seem to be lucking right now, man. We'll see how it goes, though, today. What's up, Young Harlow? He says, everyone drop a like and subscribe to support my boy. Appreciate that. What's up, Tariq? He says, what's up, Chris? Shame on the Celtics and the Jazz. Yeah, man. So it's 4 dogs yesterday, and 3 of them covered. So if you blindly tell the dogs yesterday, you went 75% and cashed a lot of tickets yesterday. What's up, Real Stony? Socks and Sneaks, my guy, Lane. That's Tall Black Genius. Jamie, Kenneth, Raptors fan. He says, bang, ChrisBeCappinn, over 3.5 intro. Yo's on the intro. What's up, my guy? All right, let's get into it for today, man. I got a lot of notes on these games. I'm going to give you guys. Y'all take what y'all want, leave what y'all don't. First game up, we're going to D.C. We got the Miami Heat in D.C. taking on the Washington Wizards today. This spread opened at 8.5 when I was handicapping it yesterday. It's come down to 8. I see a 7.5 on DraftKings and Bet Online right now as well. Total goes down from 233.5 down to 228. So real quick, one more thing I want to do just so I can give you guys this information as well. I'm looking for something. I never pulled it up. So let's just get this up real quick, and then we'll get into the handicap of this game. While I let this load. All right, cool. As I expected. All right, so here we go. All right, so for Miami, Duncan Robinson is still on the injury report. I want to say he was listed as questionable yesterday when I handicapped the game. And right now, he's actually listed as out. So Duncan Robinson won't play, or at least very likely to play. On the opposite side, you got Jordan Poole, who's listed as questionable. He's currently a toss-up to play. And Landry Shamet, I think, is a game-time decision, but it looks like he's listed more towards probable and think he is going to play in this game. So Miami, we know that they haven't necessarily been the greatest team. They're 12-12 straight up on the road, 11-12-2 against the spread. They haven't been covering on the road. 2-7-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Miami went 6-10 straight up, 5-10-1 against the spread in the month of January, but they did finish with a win after losing 7 straight. Very uncharacteristically, Miami finished just 2-5 straight up, 1-5-1 against the spread on the road. They were road favorites just twice in the month of January. They beat the Nets in overtime in a game they probably should have lost, and then they lost to the Raptors in blowout fashion as well when the last couple times they were road favorites. On the Washington side, this team is trash, of course. We know that. 3-19 at home, 7-15 against the spread at home, 5-5 in their last 10. However, Washington did finish January 3-12 straight up, 6-8-1 against the spread. They lost by average margin of 8 points, which is what you see the spread at right now. And at home specifically, they finished 0-8 straight up, just 2-6 against the spread, allowing just under 125 points to opposing teams. As opposed to on the road where they finished 3-4 straight up, 4-2-1 against the spread. So they were a better road team in the month of January than they were February. Now, situationally, Miami will be playing their first road game after 2 straight home games, and they host the Clippers on Sunday. So it's a one-off home road game. They'll be playing on 1 day's rest, where so far this season they're 15-17 straight up with a minus 1.2 point differential, and they rank 22nd offensively and 15th defensively. So not the worst spot. I mean, you look at them minus 1.2 and they're getting 8 points in this spot. Situationally that was for the Miami side. Situationally for the Washington side, they'll be playing on this will be their second straight home game with 2 more on deck. They actually got Phoenix on Sunday. That'll be the next one. So they are coming off 1 day's rest, and the Wizards are 6-21 straight up, and they're minus 7.3 this season, and they rank 15th offensively, and they rank 26th defensively. So the one thing that jumped out to me in this game was the total. So Miami, they did finish January 12-4 to the under. We know that they really just couldn't score the ball. They finished 12-4 to the under, including 9-2 in their last 11, and 6-1 to the under in road games. They were allowed 111 points and scoring just 100 points in that spot. They're 2-0 to the under as road favorites, in the month of January as well. And for Washington, they finished January 11-4 to the under, including 6 straight unders to close out the month. So we saw Washington play with a little bit slower pace. We saw them not be able to score the ball as much. And I think a big part of it, and the defense actually picked up as well. We saw Marvin Bagley really come over and make a tremendous impact. So I did play the under in this game. Of course, Marvin Bagley gets ruled out after I played the under, and he was the big reason, right? It's not just like his defensive tenacity, like he's not the greatest defender, but he allows Washington to be able to get the rebound. So without him, they're a really, really bad rebounding team. I'm looking at the numbers right now. Across 4,100 plus possessions, Washington is a minus 9.9 point differential, averaging 112 points per 100 possessions and giving up 122 points per 100 possessions. Defense ranks in the 13th percentile, which is pretty bad. And of course, I wanted them in the game. So do I feel comfortable, playing the number now? Not as much. I gave this play out this morning. I knew the total was going to drop. I wish I would have got it at 233. I do think it's going to be a slow, I don't think Washington is running as fast as they were earlier this season. I think Miami can slow the game down as well. They also, of course, are playing really, really slow. So I played the under. Don't feel as confident without Marvin Bagley being there, but that's what I played. I played it earlier, and then, of course, like I said, Marvin Bagley gets ruled out. So those are my thoughts on the game. Didn't really look at. I know I'm not laying points with Washington, even though I'm not laying points with Miami on the road with how bad they've been playing. Just because they get one win against Sacramento doesn't change it too much for me. But I also can't take points. Washington has been one of the worst teams against the spread at home, and we just lost with Washington on a minus 15. So those are my thoughts on the first game. Let's go to the comments and see what you guys are looking at in this game. Anybody got any player prop looks? Let's see. Real Stoney says hit the like button, everybody. I appreciate that. SK says National Blowout Association. Will we be in full force today? It could be like that, man. What's up to my guy Cam in the chat? Gustavo likes Daniel Gafford double at plus 280 without Marvin Bagley. Yeah, that's an interesting one. He gonna have to go down there and do his work against Bam, though. Bam is one of the better centers and probably the best defensive center in the league. But don't let me talk you off, Gustavo. I hope you cash it, my brother. Tariq says he likes the opposite. He likes the over 228. Bryce says, I got this at under 232, minus 108 last night. Okay, so Bryce got ahead of the line. Tariq says they'll bite down on the Wizards since they can't mess with the Clips. The Clips also will not cover tonight as well for the rest of the season. Oh no, as well for the same reason. I read that wrong. Okay. I can get there with that, Tariq. We'll get into the next game coming up. What's up, Tasha? Appreciate you for being here. Will says, what up, though, Chris? Detroit in the house. Hit the like button before I got. Appreciate you. Jose Perez says, what's Mr. Capper? I'm liking the Pacers money line, Suns money line, and Suns money line. Like the Suns money line twice. Okay. Let's see. OG says, hit the like. Raptors fan said, I can't get there with the Heat on the spread. Kind of like the Wizards team total under 110.5. I think that could be the look, Raptors fan. I didn't even look at this game from a team total perspective, but if you're telling me Washington team total is, especially with the way that Miami's been slowing the game down, it could just be a Washington team total. We got to remember while the Heat defense hasn't been playing as good, Washington offense, like I said, they finished the month out. What did I say? 6 straight unders. So Washington team total under 110.5. Miami should be looking to get the bad taste out of their mouth. So I agree with this look. Peter also liking that. He says Washington team total under 110. Miles says, do you think a pivot towards Washington team total under is worth a look? I mean, y'all are smart, man. Everybody on the same thing. 0-5 to their team total last 5 games. I can see it. JS Brown says the same thing. Wizards team total under 110. SK likes Rozier over 20.5 points and assists. Think he gets going scoring-wise here and could push 8-9 assists. I can see that. Young OG says the Heat going to win. They're going to sleep on the Wizards. They got the win. They're going to sleep on the Wizards. What's up to my guy, S. Dot? He likes the Heat's trifecta. First quarter, first half for him and full game. And Miles says the Wizards shot 57% in their last meeting and reached only 114. Yeah, it'll be a slower-paced game in this game. Wizards, I know they were playing against the Clippers. That game was a track meet at the beginning. And, the Clippers weren't playing their best defense in that game. But I do think Miami comes in here, locks up. So I could see that. I could definitely see that. Let's keep going. We got a lot more games to get to, and I got a lot more notes to share. Let's go Clippers and Pistons. Next game up. So Paul George is still listed as questionable. No, he's not. I think Paul George is in. I think he's off the injury report. At least that's what I'm seeing right now. Zubac does remain out, and then Isaiah Stewart on the opposite side is still listed as a very unlikely to play in this game. And Cade Cunningham is going to play. So looking at this Clippers team, they went 12-3 straight up, 11-4 in the month of January. In road games specifically, they were really good. 6-3 straight up and against the spread. Detroit 3-2 straight up, but they did go 10-5 against the spread in January. They covered 8 of their last 10, and a big part of it was their offensive production. They averaged 6 more points per game in January than they did in December. They scored 111 per game in the month of December. In January, they scored 117. They were also 5-2 against the spread in home games in the last 7 games. This team just went into Cleveland and covered that spread as well. Head-to-head, the Clippers have won 9 of the last 10. They are 5-4-1 against the spread in the head-to-head meetings over the last 10. Situationally, looking at this game, the Clippers are playing their 5th straight road game of a 5-game road trip, and they will be in Miami to take on the Miami Heat on Sunday. The Clippers have 1 day of rest, where this season they're 17-11 straight up with a plus 6.1 point differential, and they rank 3rd offensively, giving them 1 day's off rest, and 11th defensively. So this team has been stout with 1 day's rest. Looking at Detroit, they're returning home from the cover against the Cavs that I just kind of talked about. They don't play again until Sunday when they host the Orlando Magic. The Pistons are 3-28 straight up with a minus 12.8 point differential, playing on 1 day's rest. They rank bottom 3 in offense and defensive rating over the course of the season, playing off 1 day's rest. The total, the Clippers are 7-2 to the under in road games over the last month. Detroit 4-2-1 to the under as home dogs in the month in their last 7 games as well. And the last 10 head-to-head meetings are 7-3 to the under. So I know that this total actually went up, and I'm just not sure what to do with it. The Clippers can come out here and play really good defense. This total opened at 235.5. It's up to 238. I'm not sure. The spread did get bigger as well, even though, people know that the Clippers have, Detroit's been covering numbers, and the spread still goes from 10.5 up to 12. If I had to play the game, I do think I'll be looking at Detroit again. I know that the numbers getting bigger, but I don't like laying big numbers with a team on the 5th game of a 5 or 6 game road trip. I just kind of feel like, even though the Clippers have been stout, like I said, I think they said that they rank 3rd offensively and 11th defensively in 1 day's rest. This Detroit team is hooping, man. I just worry about Detroit because they go through that little spell for 3 or 4 minutes where they start turning the ball over left and right, and then they can't make a shot. So they just really scare me. I think if I like them, I would want to look early, but I've been saying this for a while, ever since the Clippers won their first game of this road trip. They play well in the first half. They covered against Washington. They covered against Toronto. Like the Clippers do, when they're on the road, they come out and play really, really well. Now, conversely, Detroit has been covering a lot of first halves and first quarters as well. So it's not a game that I'm going to be on. I do kind of lean towards I lean towards the under, but it's nothing that I'm playing in this game. I won't waste you guys' time. Just wanted to give you guys the notes. Let's see what else we got here. Tasha says she doesn't trust the Heat. Jamie says PG is banned. LJ likes Harden over his 18.5 points. His double-double at plus 112. He says Detroit allows the most points to the point guard position. I like this one, LJ. I'm going to write this down. James Harden over 18.5 points and double-double. I could definitely see that. What's up to my guy, Justin? He said he just pulled up on me. Justin likes Harden over his 5.5 rebounds in this spot. And Gustavo says he likes Jalen Duren over 15.5 points at plus 115. Ivy, he likes him at 2 threes at plus 165. And Tariq says Detroit first half is at plus 7.5. Not a bad look. And real quick, let's just check that real quick. Because I just want to see last 10 real quick. Let's see who has been covering these first half spreads between these two teams in the last 10 specifically. Matter of fact, let's just go the whole season. So first half number, the Clippers are 25-19, which is pretty profitable in the first half. And the Detroit Pistons are 22-25. Last 10, the Clippers are 5-4-1. Detroit is 7-3. So Detroit has been covering these big numbers a lot. Let's see about home. So last 10 at home, Detroit is 7-3 against the spread in the first half. And last 10 on the road, the Clippers are 6-3-1. So you have two really good teams in the first half specifically. 6-3-1 are the Clippers in the last 10 road games. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's two conflicting trends because both of these teams play really, really well. Bet on JC likes the Clippers minus the 12.5. He says if he's playing, he's laying. And Tasha says, like Detroit first half. I've been saying that. Tasha has been cashing those. Shadow says maybe Jalen Duren double-double. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's juiced at this point. Jalen Duren been actually killing it. And no Zubac down there. So he should, Daniel Tice going to have his work cut out for him for sure. Markel likes Westbrook at 5 assists. He says very low in his eyes, he thinks. And I could get behind a little Westbrook love here. They were chanting Westbrook's name, giving him big ovations when he was in D.C. the other day. Pretty sure he's in a good spot right now, man. Shout out to Westbrook. I like Westbrook a lot. Tasha said Detroit covered that team total over also. I know you've been cashing on that. Tasha went from Detroit being on the hell no list to get cashing and putting some money in her pocketbook with in her purse with the Detroit Pistons. Bryce says he got the Clippers at 9.5 as soon as it opened. And Markel says, I heard a stat. Wizards give up the most assists to guards, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Jazz give up most assists to guards, Markel, but I could be wrong. Let's keep going. We got more games to get to. Next game up, I do have a play in this game. We got Suns and we got Hawks. The line in this one did not move as much as I thought it would. It opened at 2.5 yesterday on when it first opened. I think Sports Illustrated was the first book that had this line. I capped this game yesterday during the day. And it went to 3 before I could get a play out. I gave it out at 3 on DraftKings. It's up to 3.5. I see some 4s out there as well. Well, hold on. No, it's not. It's only at 3.5. All the books got it at 3.5. Total opened at 248.5. It's up to 249. So Grayson Allen is in. He was listed as questionable yesterday with that ankle injury. He did miss their last game against the Brooklyn Nets. For Atlanta, they don't really have anybody on the injury report. DeAndre Hunter, I think, is game time decision. Toss up the play right now, but they've been playing a lot without him. I know he just made his return. So Phoenix, this team is in pretty good form. They're 27-20. 28-20. I'm sorry, 28-20 straight up on the season. And I did hear Kevin Durant say after that last game against Brooklyn that they were looking forward to winning these next 2 games. They do have a game against DC coming up, in DC coming up. He said that they really wanted to win these next 2 games so they could go home up 10 games before the 50 game mark of the season, especially with having everybody healthy. So 28-20 straight up, 14-9 straight up on the road. The win in Brooklyn, with the win over Brooklyn on Wednesday, they're now 11-11-1 against the spread on the road, although they are just 4-5-1 against the spread in their last 10. Phoenix did finish January 11-5 straight up, 7-8-1 against the spread, with an average margin of victory being about 5 points. As road favorites, they finished 4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the spread, averaging about 125 points. and allowing about 117 points. So they played better on the road and won by more points on the road as well when they were favorites. Atlanta is just 20 and 27 straight up on the season, 13 and 10 and 13 straight up at home. Against the spread, they're just 5 and 18 at home, which is one of the worst marks of the season. And although they did cover against the Lakers and took my money because I did take the Lakers plus 6.5 on Tuesday, they're only 3 and 7 against the spread in the last 10 games. The Hawks did finish January 7 and 8 straight up, 5 and 10 against the spread. The 124.5 points that they allow on average in the month ranked them 25th in home games. They were 4 and 6 against the spread, losing by an average of 3 points. And the only game that they were actually home dogs in January, they got smoked by the Cavs, and we were on the Cavs in that game. The Cavs beat them 116-95. Head to head, Atlanta has won 7 of the last 10 matchups, but they are just 3 and 7 against the spread because they have been favorites in those spots. Situationally, for Phoenix, they do find themselves in the 6th game of the longest road trip that they'll be playing this season. They do have 1 day's rest. And one more game after this Atlanta game. Like I said, they play in DC to finish the road trip on Sunday. On 1 day's rest so far this season, the Suns are 15 and 12 straight up on the season. They are plus 3.5 point differential. They rank 5th offensively and 19th defensively in this spot. In the 8 games, this is one thing that I looked at that kind of made me push me towards the Suns. And it's the Nurkic effect, right? In the 8 games when Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant play with Nurkic on the floor, and they're all on the road, they're 6 and 2 straight up, 5-3 against the spread, winning by an average of 8 points. If they're rested in that spot, so if all 4 of those guys are playing, they're on the road, they're favored, and they're rested, they're 5 and 1 straight up, 4 and 2 against the spread, winning by about 13 points per game. And that's what we just saw, right? When they played against Brooklyn. That's what we saw when they played against Miami. However, you look at the spot without Nurkic in, and they lost that game when Nurkic went out last Friday against the Indiana Pacers. They lost that game against Orlando when Nurkic didn't play. So I like Phoenix in this spot. Now I'll give you guys the numbers for Atlanta. Situationally, this is their 4th straight home game with 2 more home games coming up. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Warriors tomorrow. They're coming to town. And they're on 2 days rest. Atlanta, they actually play well on 2 days rest. 6 and 3 straight up, plus 4.8 on the point differential margin. The second best offense in this spot, the second best defense in this spot. And in 2 games this season, however, where Orlando had 2 days rest and they were a home dog, they did lose both of those games. They're 0-2 straight up in that spot and against the spread. They lost to Denver and they lost to the Kings in this spot. As far as the total goes, Phoenix finished just 10 and 6 to the under in January. The defense really picked up. I don't think anybody was paying too much attention to it, specifically in the second half, because their offense kind of run out of gas in the second half as well. The over 5 and 2. The head-to-head matchup is 7 and 3 to the over between the 2 teams. So I don't really have a lot on the total. I do think that, if I'm playing a game, I am probably looking towards the over, but this feels like one that could sneakily go under just because the total is so high. And Phoenix has been playing a little bit better defense lately. So I did take Phoenix yesterday minus the 3. Right now, the line it hasn't moved much, 3.5. Atlanta's never super big dogs. They just haven't really been able to cover at home. So, excuse me, I do like it. I do like the Phoenix Suns to win this game by at least 2 buckets. So that's what I played in this one. Phoenix Suns minus the 3 yesterday. Let me see what you guys are looking at here. Back to the chat. Let's see. Dante says Suns might drop 130. I agree. Atlanta has been pushing the pace. They've been playing really, really fast. Euphoria said tough game. Suns should win though. I agree. I definitely agree. Gustavo says book points ladder. Luka dropped 73 on him. I know Book is going to try to cook. This two definitely follow each other box score. These two, I think is what he means. These two. Markel says over or nothing in this game. Tariq says he liked the Hawks in the first half, but still like the Suns in the full game. Shadow says maybe a big game for Trae Young here, being an all-star snub. I could definitely see Trae Young having, coming out and trying to have a really big game. It's just all on whether he's going to be able to make shots or not. Trae Young shoot the ball a lot. Not the greatest field goal percentage all the time. He did light the Lakers up, but before that, he had been really struggling with his shot. Let's see. Jose says Suns in full game over. He likes the over in the full game. Vaughn says, I do like the PG ladder first game off the injury, the point guard ladder first game off the injury report and coming off a few down games. Raptor fan says he likes Trae Young over his 8. He said, I love Trae Young over the 10.5 assists in this game. He's cleared this line 5 of his last 6 matchups against the Suns, and I believe he covered it in every game that he's played coming back since the injury. Okay. Vaughn says SDQL Hawks at home on a Friday. They seem to do well in this spot. That was something that I did not look at. I don't think the Hawks can win this game. Let's see real quick. Just because Vaughn mentioned this real quick. Let's see. I know last year they did well on Fridays at home. Let's see how well the Hawks are playing at home on Fridays this year. The Hawks are 0-5 straight up and against the spread playing on Fridays this year. So, yeah, not the greatest spot for them this year, Vaughn. They have lost to the Knicks, the 76ers, the Kings, the Pacers, and the Mavs, losing by an average of 9 points per game. This has not been a good spot for them this year so far. I know last year it was. Tasha says, D-Gent says he likes the over in this game as well. Tasha says she thinks Atlanta can cover the first half. The thing about it is Phoenix actually been a really good first half team too. Like they've been coming out scoring. First quarter, first half, they've been cashing their team totals over, getting about 31, 32 points. We know Devin Booker's going to play the whole first half. LJ likes Durant in the spot over 26.5 points. He says Hawks are allowing the second most points to the power forward over the last 2 weeks. Ladoko TV says, hey Chris, may I ask what are your thoughts on the Hawks under 122.5? That might be the best play in the game, Ladoko, just because the Suns aren't giving that up. I know the Hawks are going to play fast, but the Suns with Nurkic on the floor, it can't, like, one thing that's being overlooked is their defense. They lock Brooklyn up, and I know Brooklyn's not the greatest offense, but they have locked some teams up, specifically when Nurkic is on the floor. I'm gonna actually write that down. Hawks team total under 122.5. I think I can get there. Let's see. Colin says, hopefully someone tell this Jared Allen first quarter look yesterday he gave out. He cashed it. Miles Myers says, love Phoenix, Chris. Atlanta 1-5 straight up and against the spread as home dogs this season. Suns 10-4 straight up as road favorites with a spread like this. We're asking the team to win. And I would agree, Miles. I would agree. I used a lot of those numbers in my breakdown as well. SK says Trae Young had 27 and 6 in a similar situation after being snubbed last year versus the Jazz, though. Yeah, that Jazz defense, boy. I can only take the Jazz as dogs, it seems like now. Vaughn says he played Trae Young 12 assists, Nurk 12 rebounds. Boyan and Grayson Allen 4 threes each. And Book to hit 3 threes. $5 brings him back $640. That might not. I mean, if you want to put together a nice little same game parlay, I could see this one happening. DeAndre Hunter just got ruled out. I appreciate you for mentioning that, Dylan. Looks like Gary Harris is ruled in. And I think that's the only news we got. Yeah, Vaughn, this little look you got right here, not bad, man. Trae 12 assists, Nurk 12 rebounds, Bogdanovich and Grayson Allen to hit 4 threes, and Book to hit 3 threes. I can see that. All right, let's keep going. We got more games to get to. Another game that I got to play in. And I only got 3 plays, so the rest of the games don't really got anything. 2 plays I'm kind of looking to make, though. They'll all be small plays, but just kind of wanted to make sure the injury report wasn't going to bite me after putting in the Wizards and Miami Heat game to go under without the without the Marvin Bagley news early. I just saw the total drop and it was like, it's probably a good time to get in. The total didn't really drop too much after that. So Kings and Pacers. This line opened at 2 and quickly went to 3. When I woke up this morning, it was at 3.5. It was at 3. It went to it was a 2.5 out there, and that's what I took. I did play the Pacers in this, the Kings in this spot minus the 2.5, understanding like they're not in the best situational spot either, and that the dogs just been barking. So injury report wise, Tyrese Halliburton said he is going to play. He is on a minutes restriction. Ben Mathurin did not play yesterday. He's very unlikely to play today. And the Sacramento Kings, I think, are going to be fired up in this spot. Outside of, this wasn't part of the breakdown yesterday because I didn't know they were going to get snubbed from the All-Star. But De'Aaron Fox did make it. Sabonis did make it. I think Mike Brown is going to employ them to go out here and try to kill this Indiana Pacers team. And we know that there's, the Halliburton versus old team, Sabonis versus old team. Same thing for Buddy Hield. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I do think the Kings have an arrest advantage here. And the Indiana Pacers went into Sacramento and beat them earlier this season. So let me give you guys the full rundown. Sacramento, 27-19 straight up this season, 11-13 on the road, 14-9-1 against the spread on the road. This has been one of the more profitable teams on the road this season. You don't want to lay points with them at home. but you have been able to make money with them on the road outside of their last game in Miami, of course. They're 5-4-1 against the spread in their last 10. In January, they went 8-7 straight up, 7-8 against the spread. But on the road, they were 5-4 straight up and against the spread. Indiana, 27-23 overall. They're 16-9 straight up at home. They're 14-9-2 against the spread at home, and they've covered 5 of their last 10 spreads with 2 pushes and 3 losses. Indiana finished January 10-7 straight up, 10-4-1 against the spread, 71%. In home games, they were even better. They were 7-2 straight up and 5-2-2 against the spread, winning by average margin of 6 points. They finished the month really strong at home with 3 straight wins over Philly, Phoenix, and Memphis. However, well, from a head-to-head perspective, the last 10 matchups are dead even, 5-5. Straight up and against the spread. The Pacers did, like I said, they beat them 126-121 on the 18th of January, and the Pacers went in there and beat them as 8.5-point dogs as well. That was the time where everybody was like, man, I can't touch the Kings, and I totally got it. Situationally, the Kings do find themselves in a pretty bad travel spot. This is the 5th straight road game for them. They play 8 of their last 10 games on the road as well, typically a spot I don't like to back teams in. However, this is also their first leg of a back-to-back. They play in Chicago tomorrow as well. Then they got Cleveland on Monday to finish out their road trip. I think they potentially lose both of those games, and they go hard for this one, is my thought process. They do have 1 day's rest where this season they're 16-12 on the season, straight up, and they have a 0.5 point differential, and they rank 14th offensively, 18th defensively. For the Pacers, second leg of a back-to-back, of course, 3rd game in 4 nights. They play in Charlotte on Sunday. Playing unrested this season has not done well. The Pacers have not been well in that spot. They're just 2-7 straight up with a minus 7.8 point differential. Their offense ranks 17th in this spot, and defensively they're bad. The worst defense in the league at 28th. The worst defense in the league at 28th. And the last matchup did go over to 244 by 2.5 points. And you see this total open up a little bit higher and money coming in on the over. So I couldn't talk anybody off the over in this one, even though it is up to 248. And that's a tad bit too high for me. But the way that the Pacers are playing, and I just gave you guys the numbers, when they're playing on the second leg of a back-to-back, the defense is really bad. So potential, Kings team total over. The reason why I didn't get there is because the Kings are 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. They finished January 9-5-1 to the under, on an average total of 237.5 points, including 6-2-1 to the under in road games, and 10-7 to the under in the just over the month as well. So Kings team total over, with the Pacers allowing 124 points per game when they're playing on the 3rd game in 4 nights. Teams are shooting the ball 52.5% from the field, 42% from the 3-point line. In the month of January, teams coming off a loss versus the Knicks specifically have not played well. The Knicks kind of beat teams up. Those teams are 5-11 straight up and 6-10 against the spread. So give me the Kings. I didn't play the total, didn't play the Kings team total. I just think the Kings are going to be fired up in this spot. Fading the Pacers have not been profitable lately, but I do think that they could potentially get there in this one. So that's what I'm liking in this game. Stayed away from the total. Let me know what you guys are on. Let's go to the YouTube comment section real quick and see what we got. Jose says he likes the under in the Kings and the Pacers game. I think it could be a contrarian under. I just can't get there, man. The totals have been crazy. A lot of these teams are, in some flat spots, I think, as well. And flat spots for the Pacers, that means no defense. So maybe just the Kings team total over. Colin says Holly isn't playing the 4th quarter too. Closing the game, the Kings will have their all-star, and I expect them to get the job done. So Colin's with me. He likes the Pacers he likes the Kings in this spot. And LJ, if I was playing a prop, this is where I got to go. So bonus over 21.5 points. He said the Pacers are allowing the most points to power forwards. They've allowed an average of 30 over their last 5 games. I said this yesterday. I said I haven't capped it, but it just sounds right. It seems too easy to take Jalen Brunson to go over his points, because all he wants to do is get inside the paint, got the immaculate footwork, and he scores the ball. That's what happened. I think he finished with 40 last night, Jalen Brunson did. And I can see Sabonis doing the same exact thing. They don't even try to stop you. I think Rick Carlisle just tells people he just tells his players, don't let them shoot threes, and we'll live with them shooting twos. And I mean, teams are getting to the paint and scoring at will. Markel says, I did a little parlay with Trae Young to score 30, Sabonis to get 12 assists, Joker to get 10 assists, Warriors minus 13.5, and Harden to get 10 assists. What's the odds on that, Markel? I know you got some good odds there. I like that. I don't know if the Warriors can win by 14. Their defense not that great, but I definitely think the Grizzlies run out of gas today. So, I don't know about Trey scoring 30. We'll see. Maybe DeJounte get 30. Vaughn says favorite play today. He likes De'Aaron Fox points. He says coming off a game versus the Heat where he shot just 4 for 16 with 13 points. He loves Fox tonight. Tariq says I like your thought process. He likes the Kings here as well. Tasha says I like the Pacers here, so she likes the Pacers on back to back. Okay. DJ says this under is my favorite play. He likes that under. Vaughn says he also taking Siakam points over. He averaging 17 shots per game and plays well versus bad defenses. The Kings allowed a fifth most points to the power forward position. No Holly in the fourth quarter. Allows for some late volume as well. Okay, yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. I like the end of that for sure. Gustavo says he likes Neesmith over 14.5 points. No one has made themselves more money this year than this dude. Sabonis will probably have a triple-double at only plus 150, but he ain't touching it. Okay. Shadow likes Sabonis over his points, rebounds, and assists. He says to the moon, maybe even a triple-double. Miles says Indy third game in 4 nights, second of a back-to-back, 2-7 straight up on no days rest. Just played wire to wire against the Knicks last night. Yeah, I'm with you there, Miles. Like I said, all the numbers kind of point to, and the outside of those numbers that I gave you guys, especially with the Pacers defense, which isn't good on the front leg of a back-to-back, let alone the second leg of a back-to-back. I mean, I think they're 1-7 on the second leg of back-to-back games or something like that. Real quick, let me check it. I thought I wrote it down. So Pacers and not that it really matters. The 2-7 straight up and against the spread on the second leg of back-to-backs, giving up 125 points per game in this spot. So I'll fade them in this spot and live with the results here. Wu says live spot for the Kings. Hopefully Pacers get it early. And that parlay from Markel is a plus 2906 on FanDuel. Shout out to my guy Dream. He says hit the like button. Cam says he likes likes the Neesmith look here as well. Wu Rizza says he likes the live spot for the Warriors as well. And Adebayo over his 11.5 rebounds. And I damn shit feast tonight, especially with no Marvin Bagley. Absolutely. Let's keep going. We got a few more games to get to. Let's go Grizzlies and Warriors. I really wanted to get there with I actually fell asleep before the game ended last night. Before that Grizzlies game ended with the Cavs. So I missed the best of the number when I woke up this morning. I felt like the value was already gone. This line is now at 8.5 for the Grizzlies. It opened at 5. I'm sorry, in favor of the Warriors, who will be road favorites in the spot. So the Grizzlies just keep covering. They continue to cover. They are covering machines at this point. But eventually, you kind of feel like they got to run out of gas. And I think Golden State being the more rested team in this spot, I'll give you guys an interesting trend in a second. But I think Golden State is in a pretty good spot. So Golden State has not been the greatest team this season. We know that. They're just 20-23 straight up on the season, 7-10 straight up on the road. They've covered 11 of their last 18 games, but are just 4-5-1 against the spread in their last 10. In January, they went a pretty terrible 5-7 straight up. They were 7-5 against the spread, and they were just 1-2 straight up and 2-1 against the spread on the road. Memphis, 18-29 on the season, 6-16 straight up. I'm sorry, against the spread at home. They finished January surprisingly 8-7 straight up, 9-6 against the spread. At home, they went just 3-4 straight up and against the spread. And looking at the situational spot, Golden State's playing their first road game since January 15th. They had 4 straight home games, and it's also the first leg of a back-to-back. They play in Atlanta tomorrow, and they're coming off 1 day's rest after beating Philly 119-107. On 2 days rest, I'm sorry, they're coming off 2 days rest. On 2 days rest this season, the Warriors are they're pretty good. They're 4-3 straight up. Point differential isn't that great. They're almost plus a point in point differential, and they rank 16th offensively and defensively in efficiency. Situationally for the Grizzlies, this is where the fade spot comes in. They're on the second leg of a back-to-back, of course, and this will be their third straight home game before they play Boston on Saturday. Memphis is 1-7 straight up and a minus 6.2 on the second leg of back-to-backs. They rank 29th offensively on the second leg of a back-to-back, but they are 4th defensively. So that makes sense that that the total they shouldn't score that many points, even though the Grizzlies defense hasn't been that good. They should really, really struggle to score here. I do think that getting Draymond back is going to help the Grizzlies defense, help this Warriors defense, even though it hasn't really looked like that recently. We got to remember the Grizzlies aren't playing super fast. They're walking up and down the floor, playing at a snail's pace. So this number should help the Warriors defense tremendously. Head to head, the Warriors did lose this game. They did lose the earlier matchup on MLK Day a couple weeks ago. That was the Gigi Jackson legacy game. They won that game 116 to 107 as a 7.5 point dog. So I don't think that the Warriors take them lightly in this spot, especially already having lost to this G League team outside of Jared Jackson Jr. Interesting stat that I found. I don't think it's applicable, but the Warriors are 0-10 straight up, 5-5 against the spread in revenge games this season. Every single time that they've lost to a team, they've never beaten that team again the second time. 0-10 straight up in revenge games. But this is the other stat that kind of conflicts that one and the one that I'll go with. So road favorites with more than 1 day's rest facing an unrested home dog, 66-14 straight up, 51-27 against the spread. That's 65.4% since the 2018 season. This season, that same trend is 12-2 straight up, 9-4-1 against the spread this season, winning by an average of 11 points with an average line of 4.5, which is where this line kind of opened at 5. That says to take the Warriors in this spot. They're winning by an average of 12 points on a line that's typically 4.5. As far as the total in this game, the Warriors did finish January 9-3 to the over. I talked about them not playing any defense. They allowed 125 points a game. A lot of those games, of course, came without Draymond, to be fair. They're 8-2 to the over in revenge spots as well this season. But the under, Memphis, 9-6 to the under in January, including 5-2 to the under in home games with an average total of just 215 points. The MLK Day game actually went under by 3.5 points on a 226.5 number. Now you see this total adjusted a little bit lower. Memphis is also 7-1 to the under on the second leg of a back-to-back game where they only average 104 points. So the numbers in the trend say take the Warriors against the spread, even though the line is moved, and it says to take Memphis team total to go under. Those are just the looks. I didn't play either one of them. Couldn't quite get there with either one, but those are the way that I would play this game if I'm playing anything. Didn't look at any player props, of course. Let's see what you guys are liking in this one. Peter going back to the last game. He likes Keegan Murray over 2.5 threes. Raptors fan says he's going with Siakam over 4.5 assists. His last 5 games as a Pacer, he has last 5 games as a Pacer, he had 6, 4, 10, 4, and 7 assists. Cam says they are running out of gas tonight. I can see it, man. Tariq says as much as Clay is not effective at times, he is needed. Steph can't do it all alone. I would agree with that. Corey likes Steph at 30 tonight. He says gotta put PG in his place. Not PG, gotta put Gigi Jackson in his place tonight. Abacot likes Curry over 5.5 assists. Gustavo likes Draymond's assists here. Little juiced at 6.5, but I like 8 at plus money too. He says I like Steph points too. Could see him go for 30, and I'm talking a little trash to Gigi while doing so. I can see him doing the little nightlight thing. Absolutely. Should be Steph Curry revenge game here. Also, for people who not paying attention, man, Draymond threes continue to cash. I don't know if anybody been playing them. I know somebody that plays them. I don't play them, but they just blindly play them, and they cash all the time. Draymond at 1-3, not sure what the odds are. Draymond at 2 threes, first game back off suspension, at home, on the road. He typically just been out there. As soon as he catch it, he shoot it, and it's been flying in. So that could be the sneaky look. Draymond Green threes. Probably play him at 1, play him at 2. Shadow says really like Kuminga over 26.5 points plus rebounds here. He had 20 and 11 this season at Memphis. He has increased minutes and usage now. Yeah, I don't know if people watching. Kuminga, I think he has like 5 or 6 games of 20 points or more or something like that. Steve Kerr finally unleashed him, man, giving the guy the minutes that he needs. Big Scott 5'10" says he likes Curry over 5.5 assists, Kuminga over 18.5 points at plus 220, at plus 200. Raptor fans likes the Steph assist look as well. He says he thinks he continues to get his teammates involved and create opportunities for guys like Kuminga who have been firing lately. Justin got that Warriors line last night. Good call, Justin. You got it. You got the best of the line there, my brother. Minus 8.5 last night for Justin on the Warriors. I like it, Justin. Like it a lot. Jabari says, can you repeat Atlanta record against the spread on Fridays again, please? That record was 0-5 straight up and against the spread on Fridays this year, Jabari. They lost to the Knicks, the Sixers, the Kings, the Pacers, the Mavs, and they're typically the ATS line is about half a point. So they were like 1.5 point dogs, 1.5 point dogs, 1.5 point favorites, a pick 'em, minus 5.5 and plus 3.5 tonight. And all of those lines were really close. They got smoked in all of them. So that's that for you. Cam says, Yes, sir, Raptors fan. I'm with you. He likes whatever. He likes that Steph Curry look. Dylan likes Kuminga points. He said they've been cashing. And D Gent says, did I see Grizzlies traded Adams for Oladipo? That's the most useless trade I ever saw in my life. I was going to tweet that out, but then I looked at it. They did get some draft compensation. So it's like some picks that's involved. So I didn't look too much into it because it's pretty pointless. I'm not sure if Victor Oladipo is going to play this year and Steven Adams has been already ruled out for the season. So yeah, it's kind of meaningless as far as how it's going to impact basketball this year. SK says in the previous matchup, Grizzlies had 40 free throws and Golden State 10. And they made 23s to Golden State's 10. I think the Warriors covered a 7.5 this time. I agree. Jake likes the Warriors specifically in the second half when the spread minus 3.5. And this is what been cashing because I said this yesterday, the Grizzlies are 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games and 9-2 against the spread in the first half. So if you just fade them in the second half specifically, you're probably going to end up cashing, Jake. Even though Golden State should come out here and want to put the foot on this Grizzlies team early. I could see it. I could definitely see it. Tasha likes Klay Thompson threes. And JS Brown says Memphis 4-1. Last 5 at home. I don't know what to do. I think they run out of gas tonight. I could be wrong though, JS, and I didn't bet it. Did not bet it. What's up? Call me Aries. Appreciate you for tapping in. Aunt Rose says, I know you passed this game, but how do you feel about Booker double-double? I can see Booker double-double. The problem is how you gonna get the double-double. He's not passing the ball. I feel like, well, I guess his assist did go back up. I can't call it though, and I never know when Devin Booker gonna go for 60 or if he's gonna try to go out there and get a triple-double with rebounds. I'm not sure, man. Will Rizzo says, I think the Warriors came out comes out and wins wire to wire. So we got a wire to wire win in there as well. Let's keep going. Next game up, we got Raptors and we got. Did this line move? Yeah, this line is actually down to 4 now. So we got Raptors and we got Rockets. Let me just change the line real quick. We got the Rockets laying 4 at the crib. This total is up to 232.5. I got 230 on the screen. So some money coming in on the over here and some money coming in on the Raptors in this spot. I really wanted to get there with this game yesterday. I thought, it was a pretty good look. But then I wanted to get there with Houston, but I saw Sengun listed as questionable. And I'm not quite sure if I can play Houston without Sengun. I do think that if Sengun doesn't play, you see a faster Houston team, though. And I'm interested to know, LJ, I see you in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are. I feel like without Sengun in, you probably try to run a little bit faster. You don't have anybody to get the ball because they use Sengun like an old school center. Like they put him on the block and kind of let him go to work. Without Sengun, I think it changes up everything. And this is a difficult game to cap because we still got Quickly, RJ Barrett, and Jakob Poeltl all listed as a toss-up to play right now. And the way the money's moving, it looks like those guys are going to play. I know that they did go through practice yesterday, but they have all 3 of those guys actually missed that last game when they beat Chicago. And they missed the game against Atlanta as well. So Tari Eason also listed as out, very unlikely to play. He probably won't play. If he did, it'd be his first game back. But you know what? Never mind. I saw reports that said Ime Udoka said that he was ramping up his workouts and probably will return next week. I did see that. So my fault on that. So looking at the Raptors team, 7-17 straight up on the season, 13-11 against the spread on the road. They have been covering numbers. 4-6 against the spread in their last 10. In January, they did finish 5-10 against the spread. I'm sorry, they finished 5-10 straight up, but they did cover 8 of the 15 spreads. On the road, they finished 3-6 straight up, but they did cover 6 of the 9 spreads. So it's 3-6 straight up, but 6-3 against the spread. Toronto has 2 days of rest in this spot, where this season they're 3-3 straight up. They're minus 1.1 point differential when they have 2 days of rest, and they also rank 22nd offensively and 12th defensively during that time. Looking at Houston, this team is 17-9 straight up at home. We know they play better basketball at home. 16-9-1 against the spread. They're also just 4-6 against the spread in their last 10 games at home, though. Rockets are also – they didn't have a good January. They finished just 7-10 straight up and against the spread. They were also 10-7 to the over in January. We saw that defense really take a hit, especially without Dylan Brooks and no Tari Eason. They had covered 3 straight games as they got a little bit healthier towards the end of the month before they lost outright to the Pelicans on Wednesday. At home last month, they went just 5-4 straight up and against the spread. So we saw some major regression from this Houston Rockets team. Situationally for Toronto, this will be their 3rd straight road game in the midst of a 6-game road trip. They have 2 days of rest here. And with 2 days of rest, they are 10-19 straight up and a minus 2.2 differential. Toronto is the 20th offensively rated team and the 20th defensive rated team playing on 2 days rest. For the Rockets, this will be their third straight and final home game before they travel to Minnesota to play the Timberwolves on Sunday. They have 1 day's rest and 1 day, and on 1 day's rest so far this season, they're 14-12 straight up with a 5.8 a plus 5.8 point differential. So they typically play well when they're not playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. But their offense ranks 21st, and their defense is actually the third best in the league. So maybe a Toronto Raptors team total under. I'm not sure what to do with this game without knowing exactly who's going to play. This is the first matchup of the season. Toronto has won 4 straight, but Houston actually covered the last 3 in a row. And of course, those were different teams. As far as the total goes, the Raptors are 6-3 to the over in their last 9 games, with those games going over by an average of 11 points. Houston's defense has been a bit worse recently. Toronto's defense has given up about 119 points per game. So it makes sense that the money's coming in on the over, but I don't think I could get there without Sengun. I think he means that much to the team. So Jalen Green, I talked about his threes in the last game against the Pelicans. He's been playing a lot better, shooting the ball a lot more. And without Sengun, if he doesn't play, he should get increased usage in this spot here as well. So one interesting trend that I have found in this game is I was looking at home favorites since 2019, home favorites who are rested home favorites playing against a team that that's coming off a win as a dog. So hold on, let's start this over. All right, so rested home favorites who are coming off a loss playing against a team that just coming off a win as a dog. It should be a bounce back spot. ATS wise, since 2019, they're 179, 154, and 4. That's about 54%. And this season has actually been a pretty profitable trend. I want to say about 8-4 against the spread this season. So this is something that's been, pretty much cashing. Average line is about 6.5. And like I said, they're cashing about 55% of the times. I could play with the parameters a little bit, but it did seem like a Houston spot to me. I just couldn't quite get there, like I said, just because I need to know if he's going to be in or not. So let's get to the comments real quick and see what you guys have in this one. Let's see. We got some more. Tasha likes the Rockets in the first half, minus the 1.5. Will says, Chris, the Rockets play tonight. So you know what that means. It's time you sprinkle on Cam. Oh, man. Justin likes the Raptors +4. He says 2-unit bet. He likes the Raptors today. Like them a lot for a 2-unit bet. Val says Fred VanVleet over 15.5 points. He laddered him to 20 and put a little on his 25. Malik letting me know he got his hoodie. He says, great quality, my guy. Now to hide it from my fiance. Hey, appreciate you for supporting Malik. Supporting the channel, Malik, and grabbing a hoodie, my brother. Is Miles Turner ruled out? Did we get that breaking news? Hold on for a second here. Hopefully that helps. Benedict Mathurin is in. Miles Turner is out with an ankle injury. Yeah, okay. Great. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. I definitely like that Kings team total over now a little bit more. With no Miles Turner, their defense should fall off a cliff. We'll see how it goes. Pretty sure Miles Turner means a lot to that defense. Matter of fact, let's look at that real quick. Let's take a quick peek real quick while we in the middle of a game before I get back to the comment section. Miles Turner, defensive impact per cleaning the glass. Miles Turner not on the floor this season. Let's see where their defense goes to. All right. While I look at this, while this is loading, Val says Fred is back in Toronto. He's not back in Toronto. Toronto's in Houston tonight. Gustavo likes Fred VanVleet assists here. If Sengun is ruled out, and I could not look differently in that spot. Appreciate you for shouting the rule outs here, Tariq. Wu Rizzo says, Chris, where do you find info that you just said about Coach talking about Eason? So Wu, if you go to Twitter and go on the beat reporter list that I created, Just stroll. I'm not sure which one of them tweeted, but I follow a lot of the beat writers for every single team because I need to know what's going on for all the teams. But I did see it's posted from today, so you shouldn't have to stroll too far. But it said that Coach Udoka said that they were going to ramp his minutes up, ramp his his practice time up, get him back conditioned, and then he would return next week. LJ says he took Houston -4. Sengun should play, and he feels like the Rockets come to play in this spot for Fred VanVleet in a revenge game. Vaughn likes the Fred VanVleet revenge game here as well. He says Jalen Green been looking like the young Kobe, taking all the shots. Wu says once season comes back, Rockets will be bet on. Their regression is linked to Eason, in my opinion, especially defensively. I agree with this as well, Wu Rizza. I definitely agree. They need Tari Eason. He generates offense because his defense is so good. He has the highest defensive rating as well on that team. I know Jabari Smith Jr. is a good defender. Sengun plays pretty good defense as well to be as slow as he is. And you got Dylan Brooks, but I do think Tari Eason, he helps a lot. LJ says, hey, Chris, dogs coming off wins versus home favorites coming off loss. What's the SDQL? That's what I just talked about. That's what I just looked up and shared. So this season specifically, it is, let's see real quick. 21-9 straight up. In the last 8 of the last 11 have cashed, LJ. 8 of the last 11 have cashed in there. Real Stoney likes Cam Whitmore over his 2 threes. Shadow says, what do you think about the Rockets trying to get away from Sengun and make Jalen Green the main guy? I don't think that's going to happen. He says Sengun has decreased usage last few games, and Jalen took all the shots. I think it's matchup dependent too, though, Shadow. He had a tough matchup against Valanciunas. Valanciunas is a big guy. So Jalen Green had a better matchup in those spots. Call Me Aries says, what about a Jalen Green revenge legacy game? Could be. Dante likes the Rockets team total under 118. Let's see. Peter says Miles Turner didn't do crap last night. What's up to my guy Fred? Hude, what's going on with you as well, my brother? Raptors fan says, I'm interested in Cam with more points, but not seeing them listed on FanDuel. That's something I'd be looking into. And LJ mentioned it as well. He says Tari Eason is the game changer. All right, so enough time on that game. Let's keep going. We got Pelicans and the Spurs next. This is a game I don't have much on. I'll let you guys know. It's not a game I'm super interested in backing. We still don't know the injury status of Herb Jones and Zion Williamson, of course. The Spurs look like they have everybody in except Keldon Johnson, who is very likely not to play in this game. We see the Spurs, they get smoked in that game against the Orlando Magic, but then they did make a late run if people were watching that game. They cut it to, I want to say they cut it to like 3 or 4 and, really locked Orlando up. Now, do I think that they'll do that to the Pelicans? Absolutely not. But I don't know if I want to I think Pelicans can win this game and cover, but they probably do win and cover. I'm just not going to put my money on it. Let's say it like that. I'm especially not without knowing the status of Zion, who's questionable with a foot injury. They may feel like they can win this game without him. And the same thing with Herb Jones. Both of those guys missed the last game against the Houston Rockets, and I could see him not playing again in this game. I won't go through all the trends in this one just for time purposes, but I will tell you guys this is the 4th straight game for the Pelicans. They don't play again until they host Toronto on Monday. They got 1 day off. They're 17-14 straight up on 1 day's rest. They're +4 on the offensive, +4 on point differential. Offensive rating is 11. Defensive rating is 9th on 1 day's rest. For San Antonio, front end of a back-to-back. This is also a 6th game of a 7-game homestand. They actually are 5-2 on the first leg of a back-to-back. With 1 day's rest, they're 7-25 on the season. They're -9.9 differential. So that's some look towards the Pelicans because they typically lose by 10 when they play on 1 day's rest. They're 29th offensively and 22nd defensively playing on on 1 day's rest specifically. Pelicans have won and covered 8 of the last 10 in the head-to-head matchup and twice already this season. I don't really know what to do with this one, man. Y'all, best of luck to y'all if y'all are playing this one. Nothing that I'm super interested in. Let's see real quick. Tasha says the Pelicans have covered the spread in each of their last 7 games against the Spurs. Yeah, I just kind of mentioned that. I think it's maybe even 8. Let's see. Will Rizzo says Kings line sitting at 3.5 with Miles Turner news not fishy. I mean, I don't think Miles Turner gonna move the spread, but so much. Will, what you think? How much you think Miles Turner should move the spread? I think he probably Miles Turner is one of those guys. The impact not really shown in the spread. But defensively, I mean, who they gonna put out there? I mean, you got Jalen Smith and I'm Obi Toppin. Like, King should have a field day at the rim, especially with no Miles Turner. Tasha says she likes the under in that San Antonio and Pelicans game. Gustavo likes Jonas Valanciunas rebounds. And P. Prezi says, yo, quick question. You like Memphis Grizzlies under team total is a good look? Yeah, I think so. It's scary to take it because the Warriors defense is so bad, but it just kind of makes sense that they run out of gas in this spot. They also got some guys that were on the injury report yesterday is also on the injury report as well. So yeah, I do kind of like that look a lot. Let's get through the last couple games pretty quickly because we still do got 4 games left. Well, 3 more games left. So let's go to the Hornets and the Thunder. Not a game that I'm super interested in playing. Man, this is super tough. Just because Charlotte, they I don't even see LaMelo Ball listed as a game time decision. Very unlikely to play. Gordon Hayward, Kyle Lowry, Mark Williams, all still listed out. On the OKC side, this team, they were playing against a really slow-paced team. Charlotte's also a really slow-paced team, even though this total did go up. They still would be without Isaiah Joe in this spot, and Jalen Williams, the good one. The starter is not going to be in this game as well, which is going to put Kendrick Williams in the starting lineup. I don't think I necessarily agree with the total going up. I think Charlotte could continue to struggle to score, especially if LaMelo Ball doesn't play. And OKC has been like one of the best defensive teams over the last 5 games, last 10 games as well. And their offense is also bottom 10 as well. So I don't agree with the total going up. Let's see real quick. Let me give you guys some quick notes on this one. Charlotte 10-36 straight up on the season, 5-18 straight up on the road, 8-15 against the spread on the road. But this line is massive. I mean, it's 16-point dogs. The line did come down to 15, and I agree with the movement. The Hornets finished January just 3-13 straight up and against the spread. They did get an outright win against the Kings at 15.5-point favorites. They beat the Timberwolves as 14.5-point. I'm sorry, as 15.5-point dogs. They beat the Timberwolves outright as a 14-point dog as well. And the only other cover that they had was only other win they had was against the Spurs, and they didn't even cover that one. OKC has come back down to earth. I'll tell you guys that though. They are 18-8 straight up at home, 16-8 against the spread. They have covered just 4 of their last 10 games. OKC finished January 11-6 straight up, but they actually weren't even a profitable team on the season. I'm sorry, on the month at home. They finished just 8-9. They failed to cover their last 3 games. So yeah, I got a lot of other notes, but it really doesn't matter, honestly. I just think that, I don't want to play either team, honestly. Like it's not like 16-point spreads is not something I'm interested in laying, especially when you got 2 of your best offensive players out. Charlotte just don't look good enough for me to take the points with them either, though. I mean, they've been absolutely trash, but they do play better on the road for whatever reason. I told you guys the wins that they did get was against the Kings, and the other win that they got was against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 2 teams that they shouldn't have beat. And they've won 5 straight games against OKC and covered each one of them. I have no idea how. This will be the first matchup of the season. The total is Charlotte finished 6-2 in January to the under on the road, and they averaged just 103 points. OKC finished 6-1 to the under on a 6-1 under run as well. So all of those things kind of make me lean under, and Charlotte team total to go under, especially if the offensive firepower is missing for OKC. Last 5 games, Charlotte ranks 24th in pace, 28th in offensive rating. OKC ranks 23rd in offensive rating, 3rd in defensive rating, and bottom 10 in pace. So I know the total is going up, but I actually like the under in this spot. Didn't play it, but that's the only way. Total actually did came down. I'm tripping. This total opened at 233.5. This was one I probably would have pulled the trigger on. I didn't realize that. I don't think I looked anymore after I looked at the notes. So the total actually dropped 8 points, and that makes a lot of sense to me. 233.5 down to 225, and they still might not even get there, honestly. But not anything that I'm playing. Best of luck if you guys have action on this one. Let's get to the last 2 games after we get through the comments real quick. LJ likes Bryce, this is a good point. He says Isaiah Jackson is a really good interior defender. Isaiah Jackson a dog. He is a dog. I don't know what he's doing with Sabonis though, but he is a dog. LJ says Valanciunas over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He averages 28 points, rebounds, assists in his career versus the Spurs, and he likes Wemby over 2.5 blocks. Will Rizzo says Hornets team total under. Only look he could look at in this spot. Tariq says the Kings line didn't move much. Halliburton will probably suit up. I think Halliburton plays as well. Remember, Halliburton got to play. He can only miss a couple more games if he still wants to be eligible for all those incentives that he can get. Money, all NBA team, all that good stuff. Vaughn says Miles Bridges, last 3 games, he has 18 rebound chances and 11 rebounds per game. Tasha says, what about Charlotte team total under 103? Those 103s, Tasha, when you get to 103, 104, 105, I get a little scared, man, just because of the pace that these teams can potentially play at. We don't know how motivated, Oklahoma City is going to be in this spot. But and I also want to wait. I think you got to wait to see if LaMelo Ball is ruled in. He hasn't officially been ruled out, and they could throw him in at the last minute, the same way some of these players get ruled out at the last minute. Raptors fan says Chet Holmgren, he likes over 7.5 rebounds. He says the Hornets are still a bad rebounding team. And Chet has been crashing the glass lately with rebounds, 13-7, 12-13, and 9 in his last 5. I could see that. Bond says Bridges, also 9.7 potential assists over his last 3 games and averages 5 in that time. A lean, but found that info while capping the game. Appreciate you for sharing that, Vaughn. Gustavo says he likes Cody Martin over 8.5 points. He says he's been getting a lot of run, and he likes Chet over 3 blocks as well. Scotty says, going back, he says Sabonis facing his old team today after getting snubbed at the All-Star game. Sign me up for those points, rebounds, and assists over. I like the look, Scotty. If it was one play I was playing for as player prop, it would be looking at Sabonis. Yeah, you're right. Probably PRA, but I'd probably be louder in his rebounds. Yeah, it's a lot to like there. All right, let's get to Magic and Timberwolves. Second to last game on the board. Get to my. This is a game that I like that I haven't put a play in yet. So line coming down from 7. When I capped this game yesterday, it was 7. Then I saw it go to 7.5. Then I saw it go to 8, and I got really interested. And then, of course, Rudy Gobert gets ruled questionable. Not sure if he's going to play. And you see the line come back down to 6.5, which is what it is right now. And the total go up. This total opened at 213. You guys see 211.5 on the screen, but it's actually back up to 213.5. And to me, that implies that Rudy Gobert probably not going to play in this game. Because if Rudy Gobert is going to play, the total is going to go down. He means that much to the total. I looked at some numbers, and their defensive rating is not as good when he's not on the floor. In Orlando, I think Orlando got a shot to win this game outright, if I'm being honest. I know that the Timberwolves been turned up. I know that, they're probably going to end up getting Chris Finch as the all-star head coach, and that's something that they're looking forward to. Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns both made the all-star team as well. But I think Orlando's the right side in this game. So Orlando, 25-13 on the season, 10-16 straight up on the road. They are 16-10 against the spread on the road, though. They do cover these numbers. 12-8-1 against the spread as a road dog, which is one of the best ATS records on the season. Losing by an average of 5 points. And keep in mind, the spread is 6.5. In January, they finished 6-10 straight up, 9-7 against the spread. They did finish with 3 straight covers. However, they were just 3-7 straight up on the road in January and covered just 6 of their 10 spreads and 6-4 ATS in their last 10. I think a lot of it was they had a lot of games on second leg of a back-to-back. We also got to remember Apollo had to carry them a lot because Franz was injured. They had a lot of other injuries in the month of January as well. Looking at Minnesota, they lead the West 34-14 straight up. They're 18-4 at home. Not a spot you want to fade them in. 13-9 against the spread at home. Winners of 7 of their last 10 games straight up. In January, they finished 10-7 straight up, 9-8 against the spread at home. Minnesota finished 4-3 straight up and against the spread, and they allowed just 105 points per game. Situationally, it'll be the 3rd game of a 5-game road trip for Orlando. They play in Detroit on Sunday and come into the game of 1 day's rest here. This season, with 1 day's rest, Orlando is 19-7 straight up. They are +6. Their offensive rates 23rd, and the defense is actually the 2nd best. This is Orlando. 10-2 against the spread in road games with 1 day's rest so far this season. I like Orlando in this spot. For Minnesota on the opposite side, playing the second of a 3rd game homestand with 1 day's rest. They have Saturday off before they host Houston on Sunday. Minnesota with 1 day's rest this season, 25-9 straight up. They are +8.6. They rank number 1 defensively, 19th offensively. With 1 day's rest at home, 13-4 straight up, but they're just 9-8 against the spread, averaging 113 points per game and only allowing 104 points per game. So a lot of reasons to like the under in this spot. Head-to-head, if you guys remember, Minnesota did beat Orlando 113-192 on January 9th. Orlando was getting 5.5 points as at home. It was a terrible travel spot. fatigue spot for Orlando. They had actually played second leg of a back-to-back. It was a 3rd and 4, 5 and 7. Oh, it was all that. And they played Minnesota tough in their last 10 games. They won 7 of their last 10 outright, and they've covered 6 of them as well. As far as the total, Timberwolves did finish 11-6 to the under in January. Those games were averaging about 219 points. Orlando, with 1 day's rest, like I said, second best defensive rated team in the league, behind only Minnesota. So you got both of these teams. This is number 1 and number 2 defense in it, when they're playing on 1 day's rest. Timberwolves 10-6-1 to the under at home with 1 day's rest, allowing just 104 points. Orlando 8-4 to the under when they're playing on the road with 1 day's rest, and they're allowing 108 points per game and only scoring 109. So a lot of trends that point towards the under. And if I had to play the game, I do think it's a tad bit too many points. I'll be taking the points here with the Orlando Magic. Want to see what the status of Rudy Gobert is, because if he's ruled in, I really don't care if he's ruled in, but if he's ruled in, the number probably will go back up to 7.5. If he's ruled out, this line probably going to come down and probably close about 6 is what I'm thinking. So haven't made this play yet, but I do like Orlando in this spot. Probably going to take him plus the points here. My favorite dog of the day. Let's see what you guys are seeing here. So we got Tariq says he took Orlando plus 7. I like it, Tariq. Gustavo likes Wendell Carter Jr. over 7.5 rebounds. He says possible double-double at plus 250. And Will Rizzo says if Gobert is out, the Magic are live. And I would agree with that. I do think the Magic are live to win the game. Crazy as it sounds, you don't want to fade the Timberwolves too often, but I think it could be a good spot tonight. I do think it could be a good spot tonight. Last game on the board. Now, another game that I'm not super interested in is the Trailblazers and the Denver Nuggets. This line opened at I think it opened at 10.5 in favor of Denver. It's all the way up to 12.5 now. Total come down from 223 down to 219.5. A lot of that is probably team total under for this for this Portland Trailblazers team. They have, I'll tell you guys this, the Blazers are not as bad as they seem. They are off back-to-back wins, back-to-back outright wins. They beat the as dogs. They beat the who was it? The Philadelphia 76ers. And before that, after that, they had the revenge game against Damian Lillard and the Milwaukee Bucks and won that game outright as well. And they've covered 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. This will be the first game for them on the road, and they actually got the Denver again on Sunday. They play Denver again on Sunday in Denver, so they'll stay in Denver after this game. I think if Portland is healthy, man, I'm not saying that they're gonna cover and win this game. I think Denver probably wants to continue to, ascend in the Western Conference, and losing that game to OKC doesn't help any the other day. We still don't know if Jokic is going to play, though. I still see him listed as questionable. And I'm guessing that he is going to play based on, the line moving up, because who's laying 12.5 without him in this spot? But if he does play, it's a pretty bad matchup for the Portland Trailblazers. They like to score a lot of their points inside the paint. Denver doesn't allow you to score too many points in the paint, even though Jokic will just let you go straight to the rim. I think I can't bet on him because he's so inconsistent, but I think if I'm looking at a player prop, I think Ayton should have a big game. To me, this game kind of screamed Ayton just because Jokic, dealing with the back injury, even if he is 100%, even if he plays, I don't think he'll be 100%. It just how much energy and effort is Ayton going to give you? Not 100% sure, which is why I couldn't put my money on Ayton. But Ayton's been hooping. Go back and look at his game logs. I'm not going to give you guys all the numbers, but he's been hooping, and I think he has the matchup advantage. I don't like the matchup for the guards as much, but I'm not laying 12.5 without knowing the status of Jokic. I'll just say that. And I also 219 is a super low total. I think Portland could struggle to score the ball. They are the worst offensive rated team in the league. But last couple games, since they have everybody healthy, I mean, you got Brogdon in there, you got Reef in there, you got what's my boy name? Jeremy Grant, who's been looking like, they should have paid him, not as much as he is getting paid, but they should have paid him some money. And Scoot coming off the bench looking good. Like this team, I think you'll be able to make money if Portland has a fully healthy roster, is what I'm trying to say. The last game they lost was the game that they tanked, and that was when they took everybody out and didn't play anybody, and that was against the San Antonio Spurs. They also lost to the Bulls as well, but that game was pretty competitive to the end as well. So yeah, I'm not playing the game though. I know I'm not playing the game, so I'm gonna stop talking about it. Let's go to the comments real quick. Then I'll give you guys a recap, and if anybody got anything to share, I'll open it up to everybody. Do me a favor if you guys can. A lot of information given out. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Or 1991. He says, "What's your best money line bets for tonight?" We'll talk about that in a second. If I was going to do a two-legger money line parlay, I think I got something in mind. Let's see. Weston says, "Chris, what's your favorite spots tonight?" I'm about to go over that in a second. Tariq says Denver did the same thing last time. Resting players prior to the All-Star game. Portland may cover. 12.5 is a lot, man. It is a lot. Wu Reza says, like the under down to 215. Okay. Likes the under a lot. LJ says, mortgage better today. Oh, God. Denver first quarter -4. He says they're 12-3 against the spread in the first quarter at home versus the West. The same SDQ applies to this game. The Blazers get smoked. So you're talking about a team that's a home favorite that's rested, coming off a loss, that's playing against a team that previously won as a dog. That is correct. They are on the list tonight. That is absolutely correct in this spot. That is correct. Yeah, you're right, LJ. Okay. Hey, best of luck. I hope you cashed it. Gustavo says he likes Scoot Henderson over 9.5 points, 8 and 12 boards, or his double-double. King says Jokic get healthy. I say they trade MPJ. I'm still bothered that they didn't pay Bruce Brown for at least one more year. I don't think they trade MPJ. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think you at least got to run it back till it don't work no more. Bao says he likes Aiden double-double at plus 100. He got it this morning. Raptors fan says he leaning Brogdon over 5.5 assists. He says 8 straight games where he's covered this line, but he says he agrees with me not liking the guard matchup. Yeah, I would agree there. Sengun ruled in. Take the Rockets. He got a hot take, says. Yeah, I probably will put a little something on the Rockets, man. That line's probably moving as we speak. See if I can grab a 4.5. Houston -4.5. I'll put a little something on it. Let me see if I can find it first. Let's see if I can find let me go to, let's get the Odds Jam page up real quick. Shout out to the sponsor. Shout out to Odds Jam. Let's get them up, pull them up real quick. Let's go. I'm gonna share this so you guys can see it as well. This is exactly what I do when I'm trying to place a bet and I'm trying to find the best odds. So let's go to specific game. Let's just go to this game specifically. We got Toronto, Houston. Best line, you guys can see it right there, is -4 on Bet Rivers. We also have a -4.5 on Sports Illustrated and a -4 on Unibet as well. So I like Unibet a little bit more. So I'm gonna go to Unibet real quick and play this 4 if you guys want to rock with me there. Still don't know the status of all of those guys from the other side, right? Did we get reports that those guys are in or out? I don't think so. But I'll take Houston in this spot. I will take Houston in this spot. -4, -112. Sorry for the dead air time. Luke Kennard and Derrick Rose are expected to return tonight. So those guys coming back. All right, let's go. Slow as I'm moving, the line gonna move. Come on, man. All right, Houston -4, -112. I got it. All right, cool. Appreciate y'all for letting me know that Sengun got ruled in. Let's stop sharing this. And as you guys can see, the lines, they're just moving everywhere. It's already up to 5.5 on BetMGM. Let's see. Will Rizzi says Portland 3 wins in a row, coming off back-to-back great offensive performances for them. Nuggets smash spot and under Blazers team total. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. It's Scotty says what I say. He says Aiden been scoring lately. I agree with that. Yeah, I got it, Tasha. She says, hurry up and grab it, Chris. I got it. I grabbed it. King says, I feel like quickly going for at least 30 tonight. See how that one goes. Malik says, Chris, are there any Nuggets -4 first quarters available? Let's take a look real quick. I'll share my screen again real quick, and then that is the last game. So we'll just do a quick recap. So the way this works, let's go to the Denver game specifically. So we're looking at Denver, Portland. And let's just look at this game specifically. Let's go first quarter point spread. See if we got any fours left. We got a 3.5. Malik, I don't know if I know you in Chicago. If y'all got BetMGM in Chicago, it's a 3.5 -115 on BetMGM right now. 3.5. And a 4 on DraftKings, a 4 on Caesars, and a 4 on Bet365. So yeah, it's some 3.5. It's a 3.5 and some 4s and 4.5s. That's why you line shop, so you can get the best of the number. I always talk about it all the time. Let's see. What else? Tasha says she likes the Nuggets team total over 29 in the first quarter. Okay. Des, this is OzJam. I talk about it all the time. I didn't talk about it today, but OzJam, if you're interested in, signing up, using their software where you can get the best of the line every single time, I do have a promo code CBC where you'll get 25% off your first month. Shoot me a DM on Twitter at ChrisBeCappinn 2Ps2Ns if you got any questions, and I'll help you out, my brother. All right, so that's what we're liking for today. So top looks for me, the things that I actually played, going back to the beginning. I did play in that. Hold on. In the Wizards and Heat game, I did play the total under. I think I got it at 228. It is still 228. Like I said, I don't like it as much now, just because Marvin Bagley got rolled out. And what I wanted to tell you guys real quick on the Marvin Bagley front was that the defense does fall off without Marvin Bagley there. Because like I said, he does help them so much with being able to rebound the basketball. So I don't think I gave you guys the numbers for the people who've been listening throughout the entirety of the show. Real quick, let me just give you guys those numbers real quick. And this is why I don't like it as much. When I took it, of course, he was in. Everything was fine. Now all of a sudden, of course, he's not playing because I played it. I placed the bet. So with Marvin Bagley off the floor, their defensive rate, their point differential is -9.9. So they're losing the game by almost 10 points. And their defensive rating is they're giving up 122 points per 100 possessions. They're in the 13th percentile, which is some of the worst defense that you'll actually see. And I do think that could potentially lead to the Heat scoring points in this game. But I still took the under. Hopefully the Heat play at a slow pace and both teams aren't necessarily hitting all their shots. So I'll stay there, stay with my position on the Heat and the Heat and the Wizards to go under. I also played the Suns -3 yesterday. Grayson Allen won't have a minutes limit. Great. I also played the Suns -3 yesterday. And I also, what was the other play that I gave out? Oh, I played the Kings -2.5 this morning. I do think the Kings can go into Indiana and get a win with the Pacers on the second leg of a back-to-back. Those are the 3 plays that I played. And then I just added the Rockets -4 on Unibet -112. And if I was going to add anything else, we did just get the news that Rudy Gobert remains questionable. I want to know if Rudy Gobert going to play or not, though. I do like Orlando plus the points tonight. My favorite dog look of the day. So those are my top looks. If you guys are still watching, man, and you haven't already, do me a favor, hit the like button. Shout out to He Got Hot Takes for just becoming a member. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you for sure. Money line wise, what are your best looks? If I had to do a money line parlay or 1941, I would parlay the Golden State Warriors with the New Orleans Pelicans. I feel like that's the safest money line parlay, in my opinion. The one that's going to pay out probably about like a -140-ish, -141. Not getting too greedy. We know that the dogs have been barking, but I do think that the Grizzlies run out of gas tonight. I also think, and the Warriors also owe them some revenge. And I also think that the Pelicans are winning the game because the Spurs probably don't want to win. I don't think the Spurs want to win basketball games right now. So the Pelicans, 1-3 on this road trip. I do think that they'll want to close out with another win. I'm not confident in landing 8 points with them, even though they can lose by double digits. We know that their offense is not great, specifically in the second half of the game. So that's the 2-leg money line parlay that I would give. Go Young DJ likes the Heat and the Suns on the money line. And you could add the Heat. You definitely could add the Heat, but I don't know if I didn't really watch that Heat game the other day. I don't know if they just magically gonna be better. So we'll see how it goes. But if I had to play a money line parlay, that's the way I would look. I haven't placed a money line parlay if I'm being honest with you guys. But those are the two teams that I like. Real quick before we get to the YouTube comment, before we get to the Twitter section, Raptors fan says, quick question, Chris. What do you think about the Pels first half? Do they continue to take them early and fade them in the second half? Here's the problem, Raptors fan. Both of these teams you take in the first half. If the Spurs play any resemblance to good basketball, it's always in the first half. And that's the same thing for the Pelicans. So I'm not sure, man. This Pelicans team has been extremely inconsistent lately. They win a game, they lose a game, they win a game, they lose a game. On their road trip, they were getting smoked. They did not play well. Then they finally got a confidence boost and win against the Houston Rockets. I'm not sure how this game gonna go. So don't let me stir you in one way or the other, Raptors fan. Just take whatever it is that you like, my brother. All right. So that's what we got there. Let's get Redemption up. Let's get my guy Ben up, and let's get Cam up, and then we'll get ready to get up out of this thing, man. Let's go Ben first, and then we'll go Redemption, and we'll go Cam. What's up, Ben? Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Ben. Talk to me. How you, man?
Doing good. A lot of these lines moved a lot overnight prop-wise.
They did, yeah.
I got lucky. I caught that Sabonis an assist last night on FanDuel at like -112 and 20 and a half. So I think it's like 22 and a half and 23 and a half. So I don't want to like dive too deep into that, even though I'd still say give it out now. But the one I want to talk about is SGA. SGA's got some pretty crazy home trends this year where it's kind of shocking. He has 4 assists in every home game this year, and he has 30 points in 16 of 18 home wins this year. So this morning I took SGA 30 points, 4 assists in the win at -129. That's been a little juice, but you can get 30 points, 5 assists in the win, still at, I believe, -110. So that's what I'm on today. I know obviously there's a little bit of blowout potential here. But, I mean, they've blown a lot of teams out this year now, and still in 16 to 18 home wins this year, he's got 30 points and 4 assists. So, real simple, SGA just to kind of do his thing, and the founder to take care of business of a team that they should be taking care of business of if they have any aspirations this year.
So, that is a fact. Okay. Hey, real quick, Ben, what did you get Sabonis rebounds and assist line at?
I got 20 and a half last night. I know it's gone up.
You said 20 and a half?
I got lucky, man. I got a really good line last night. Like, I was kind of stalking it just because I figured Halliburton wasn't going to play. He hasn't technically been ruled out yet, but I figured the offense was going to struggle a little if Halliburton doesn't play, just with him coming back. So more missed shots, and then obviously, the Pacers been bleeding rebounds. I watched that game last night. The Pacers played, and I think Hart and Chua, Precious and Chua, and Hardenstein all had double-doubles last night, or at least double-digit rebounds last night. So I figured if those guys are getting double-digit rebounds, I watched Sabonis' 26 rebound game last week, so I felt like I had to get in on the 20 rebounds and assists. And I actually played the triple-double too on FanDuel last night. I caught it at +300. I think it's down to like +150.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got lucky with some of these, spots last night. I tried to do as much the night before as I can, just because
absolutely
a lot of these plays get pretty public on Twitter pretty quick. So,
that's a fact.
But yeah, love SGA today. You can play 30 and 5 assists, 30 and 6 assists in the win and get plus money there too. So however you want to play it, I think we see a nice SGA today.
My man, appreciate you, Ben. Best of luck tonight, bro.
No problem. You too, my man.
All right, let's go Cam, and then we'll go get my guy Dreamer. What's up, Cam?
Yo, what's good?
How you, bro? So Jakob Poeltl just got ruled in, quickly got ruled in. RJ Barrett is out.
Word. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought all of them were actually get ruled in.
I did too.
The Raptors are tanking, and we're not hiding it. But yeah, I'm surprised that I did not. But I guess that's how we're gonna do it. Probably have one of those views before, just always have something pop up. But with that being said, I'm not really on any Raptors tonight because they have had a bit of a layoff, so it's hard to know how they're going to come together. But I am on Jalen because we are bottom 4 against the small forward, and he's just been going off. So I kind of line, his over 3 and his over 22.5 at plus 150. I just think he's going to keep it going against us. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's been getting up like almost 12 threes a game, which is crazy if you think about it. So not 12 threes a game, basically like 7, my bad, not 12, but like averaging around 7 threes a game, 9 threes a game. So it's over 2.5 threes, and over 22.5 points with plus 150. I like both of those as straight if you want to play them straight. I'm on Daniel Gafford under his 18.5 points and rebounds. He averages like 4 points and 3 rebounds against Bam Adebayo. Basically, he just Bam owns him.
That's his daddy.
Like, yeah, it's embarrassing actually. When I really went deep into it, the only time he's really put up any points against the Miami Heat, it was against Hayward, Highsmith, Robinson, Struth, Vincent, and Zeller. That was the starting lineup. So yeah, he's averaging like 11 points and like 8 boards over the month. So I think just the matchup and the fact that he really doesn't go over that line that often, and recently he's been going under it as well. I really like that's probably my favorite play of the night. I'm also on Golden State, but it's tough for me to give it up because I got it at 6 last night. As soon as it opened, I took it for all the reasons you said. And I truly believe they will run out of steam. The Memphis Grizzlies, and I just think it's one of those games where when Golden State kind of needs that win, and I just like them to go to -6. I think it's a little like, listen, Golden State hasn't been good this year, but I know Memphis has been covered. I understand that, but it just felt like a spot for Golden State for me, so I'm on that as well. And then I just got, give me 1 second, pull my slip. I got 2 more I wanted to give out. We got Pascal assists. This is the one I agree with Raptors fans on. I was over 4.5. Been watching the Indiana Pacers games basically because I'm a Pascal fan at the end of the day. And with Tyrese Halliburton on this minutes restriction, what we're seeing a lot of is when it comes to that fourth quarter, Pascal kind of becomes your de facto point guard. They kind of gone away from TJ McConnell as a dude, and Pascal's become not a point guard, but you know what I mean, just their playmaker. So over 4.5 at -110, he's been going over that line pretty consistently as well, and he's always been good. That's just something he's always been good at anyway. So that line's pretty low for me, and a little bit of a blunt money bet shadow dream. I took Pascal first bucket plus 550. If they win the tip, could just see him going downhill, trying to get on the scoreboard real quick or get a quick foul. So that's what I'm on for tonight. Good luck to everybody. Let's make some money.
Absolutely, Cam. Best of luck, bro. I like the looks. I think you stick to your guns, Cam. I think that's the one thing about you, bro. I appreciate you doing that too. Like you don't venture out too far, bro. And I'm just like you. So best of luck, man. I hope you cash, man.
Capping what I know, man.
Absolutely.
You start playing around and messing around, you're not. Gambling, right?
Absolutely, bro. If you watching on YouTube right now, you see all these different markets that you can bet in the NBA, man. It's everything. Like it's so many different angles you can bet. So you do kind of want to stick to what it is that man, or what it is that works for you. So shout out to my guy Cam, man. Let's go Redemption real quick, and then we'll go back to we'll go to Dream. What's up, Redemption?
What's up, Chris? How are you?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well, trying to make money as always.
Absolutely, my brother. What you liking today?
All right, today I'm on Cade Cunningham assists, 6.5. Basically, in the last 2 games since he's been back, he has 14 potential assists. And if you look at his home splits versus away, it's crazy. Like he usually covers, so I'm on that today.
Okay.
And then, so I might sprinkle on the 10. I don't know yet, but I'm officially on the 6.5. And then I got a lotto for the people. I know everybody loves lotto. So
what you got?
All right, so I got a PPD, player performance double. So I got KD 25 in the win.
Okay.
I got Sabonis. You got to make it 15 points, 10 rebounds, and Kings money line at -102. Then I got James Harden double-double in the win. And it comes out as I use my boost on it. I think it's supposed to be 940. I use my boost for 1,174. So
what was the Sabonis line again, Redemption? You said 25?
No, I said 15 points Sabonis, 10 rebounds, and Kings money line.
Okay, so 15 and 10.
Yep.
And then money line.
Yep.
With KD 25 in the win and Harden double in the win.
Yes, sir.
That don't sound too.
That ain't too crazy.
It ain't too crazy at all, man. It's actually something that should happen, man. And you say you with your boost, you get it at plus 1,000.
Yep.
That's not bad at all, man. Hey, best of luck, Redemption. I hope you cash that, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you always putting me on.
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you doing the work and contributing to the show. Let's go, Dream. Somebody else that do all the work, man. What's up, Dream?
It's the vibes, my guy.
What's up, bro? How you, man?
Can't complain, man. Chilling. Just found some value, I think, on the board.
What you like?
Three guys. Alex Burks.
That's your guy, Dream.
Yeah, I ain't really had a chance to bet him much this year because his line kind of sharp, but rare occurrence with him being at plus 750 for 20 points. Couldn't talk you off to 15 at plus 185 either. But yeah, Alex Burks for 20, I think that's really good value. Cedi Osman for the Spurs for 15, I think that's amazing value, especially with Keldon Johnson out. He just had a dub 2 games ago, so that 15 is plus 750. And Scoot Henderson to score 15 is plus 500, plus 550 as well. I love the value on all three of those guys tonight. Scoot, we kind of saw what he did against Milwaukee, and if you can do that with Brook Lopez in the game, just drive in, and, throwing some shit up and trying to get it to fall, then I'm pretty sure you can do that against DeAndre Jordan, who didn't even play. Maybe it won't even be DeAndre Jordan back up center because he didn't even play that game when Jokic was out. So, I mean, if you put them all three together, it's a plus 40,000. I'll put like $5 on to win 2,000. But you could just play them separately. You can round robin them 2s and 3s, do whatever you want. But yeah, I really like Alex Burks. Well, as much as you could like a plus 750. Don't put a unit on, put below 120. But I like Alex Burks to score 20. I think that's good value. Cedi Osman for the Spurs 15, and Scoot Henderson to score 15 as well. Like those guys. And a trend that I'll leave you guys with for King Jalen Duren for the Pistons. He's under his stocks line of 1.5. I mean, we've been playing it on my channel for like 10 days now. 10 games, but he's under his stocks 1.5 line, 14 of the last 16 games. So generally I just try to find a juiced money line, like a crazy money line to put with it. Today I put the Nuggets money line with his under stocks and got a minus 135 for a unit. You can do Miami money line or another money line that you really like today. Or a prop that you think is pretty safe. But yeah, Jalen Duren under his stocks has been a really good look. And the reason behind that, generally, he's been a great shot blocker in college. He was a great shot blocker his rookie years, great shot blocker his first month of the season. But he's been out twice with an ankle injury. And personally, just watching him, I just don't think he goes after block shots as much anymore because he hurt his ankle twice. So I think he's trying to stay healthy. So, yeah. Just want to leave y'all with that. Appreciate it, my guy.
Absolutely, Dream. Hey, Dream, real quick.
Can I just Dream a quick question?
Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Hold on. I forgot what I was going to ask him anyway. Go ahead, Kim. I got a question for Dream too.
My bad. Yeah. Dream, the market you've been playing, the PRA plus blocks and steals. I'm right here last year. I was looking at KDs. You basically have done it every game.
I ain't funny that shit. I had KD in a goddamn plus 1150. Last game, I had Kawhi hit, CJ McCollum, who's the sneakiest one that you could ever ask for PRA blocking still, plus 185 hit, and then KD bitch ass didn't hit. So yeah, KD is a great value, but that motherfucker just fucked up my damn plus 1145 last game. You think that's oh my God.
Yeah, I don't even know. Hey, Dream, I was gonna ask you a value. It was a value play on somebody. I was just looking at. Oh, I know what it was. It was no, I don't know what it was. It was somebody though. Yeah, that's exactly who it was, Dream. Because I saw so Zion a game time decision. Larry Nance Jr. just got ruled out, and Herb Jones also ruled out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they ain't gonna drop no lines. I don't know if they're gonna drop any lines. That's the thing. But yeah, I think that's a great look. If it's 1.5, then yeah, you got to definitely look at that for his threes. And also, I've been watching him lately. He got a decent little mid-range game. So maybe if you like his points, but yeah, man, I'll be looking for his threes. I'm assuming they open at 2.5 plus money. But if you get a 1.5, I think they're worth the ladder for sure.
Okay, yeah, it's so crazy. This slate's so big, and you knew exactly who I was talking about. That's crazy, bro. I was just going through just reading the late injury report. Yeah, okay.
See what it look like.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, Dream. The Seti Osman joint, I think, is super crazy. That is super crazy. No, people probably don't know who Seti Osman is, but shout out to Dream, man. What's up, Redemption? Right back to you real quick before we wrap up.
I was just gonna say I agree with that Hawkins shit. They put it at 1.5. That's a mistake. One thing I know about Hawkins, he got that value. He made me so much money when all of them out. So I agree. Like if you see 1.5, 2.5, I don't give a damn 3.5.
Yeah, that's a fact. He only out there to shoot the ball, and we know the Spurs defense from 3 is like really, really bad. So, could not talk anybody off looking at that look. All right, cool. That's what we like it, man. Like I said, I gave you guys a couple looks. Just one play on the total for me, which was the Washington. Now, like I said, I don't like it as much without Marvin Bagley in there, but I did take the under in the Heat and the Wizards game. I also took. I'm riding the Suns, man. I know it's a 6 game of a 7-game road trip, but I'll fade the Hawks here. -3 is what I got it at yesterday. And I'll fade the Pacers on the second leg of a back-to-back as well, even if Halliburton plays. I think Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox really come out and play hard, especially with them being snubbed at the All-Star game. And I do think one of them should have made it. I don't know about both of them, but Sabonis leading the NBA in rebounds, I think, right now. I think he's second, third in triple doubles. They're the 4th team in the Western Conference, all that good stuff. And you got a Pacers team on the second leg of back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. So yeah, and Kings coming off a loss to Miami. So I like the Kings in the spot. I got them at 2.5. And then the last play I added was the Raptors -4. And I'm probably gonna get there with the Magic as well. I think they're my favorite dog of the day. But we're still waiting on injury news. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys play. I don't know how many likes this video got, but I potentially may do a show depending on how much love was showed to this video. May even do a night show because it is like 4 or 5 games that I'm already been looking into for tomorrow. We got the Golden State Warriors who'll be in Atlanta for the second leg of a back-to-back for both teams. I think Brooklyn plays Philly tomorrow with no Embiid. I think they're coming home laying 4.5 points in that spot. So we got some looks for tomorrow as well. But there's also some injury report manipulation also. Already we got guys listed as questionable that probably already know if they're going to play or not. So best of luck on all your action tonight, man. Do me a favor as you guys leave and hit the like button for me. Share the show if you guys can. It's always greatly appreciated. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.